Friday night in small town Texas. The lights go on, the bleachers fill, the trucks pull in, but this isn't your suburban mega stadium. This is the world of six-man football, a version born out of necessity and now deeply embedded in the identity of communities across rural Texas. I'm Charles Blaine, and this is Texas Tomorrow. In Jayton, Texas, a high school with enrollment consistently hovering near the state's smallest classification threshold, they can't field an 11-man team any longer. And so they still want to play Friday night football and have it as a ritual. So they play six-man. Jayton's team has been part of six-man football since the 1980s. That detail itself reveals something deeper, which is that when a high school is operating with fewer than 65 students or anything within that threshold, qualifying for the smallest division of play, you're looking at a community holding on, barely holding on, not just to a game, but to the social infrastructure that it represents. Across Texas, schools with 104 students or fewer shift into six-man football, known formerly as 1A classification. And it's not just about athletic competition. It's about survival of the local community, the local school, town pride. Like Marfa, Texas, six-man is described as an identity. For many small towns, the school is the linchpin of civic life. Homecoming, the football game, the social gathering on a Friday night. We're all familiar with it to some extent. These are what keep people connected to a place. Now, when the high school field is alive, the town is alive. When the high school field goes dark, the signal is clear. Something else is collapsing. In Jayton and elsewhere, the continued ability to field a team says that the district is functioning, the board still approves the budget, the boosters still raise funds, the crowd still cares enough to come out and cheer them on, and that has value beyond wins and losses. It signals institutional trust. But let's be honest, six-man football is also a symptom. Enrollment hovering near 60 or anywhere within that threshold of students tells us stories about shrinking population, limited local opportunities, youth migration, the brain drain, and tax bases eroding. The ripple effects, fewer businesses, fewer jobs, fewer services, and yet the ritual of football remains. It stays. In Marfa, an article notes that the town wonders whether enrollment could get so low that they might not even be able to play six-man football anymore and field a team for that. And if that happens, it's not just the athletics stopping, it's the community surrounding it. It's the signal of capacity fading. The stands are families, their alumni, their grandparents, former coaches, their business owners, neighbors, people you bump into and maintain those local connections. But for a few hours, the town gathers, not just for sport, for social cohesion. In these places, there may be no big Starbucks or a large shopping mall to go hang out at, and maybe few entertainment options. But the Friday night lights, they're real, and they matter a lot to these communities. And this matters for every community and social trust that we try to build within them. Because these games give fathers and sons something shared. It gives friends and a weekend ritual to neighbors. It gives a place, a story. There's a caution. Can six-man football alone reverse a decline? Probably not. The ritual continues, but the substance behind it, jobs, the schools, the healthcare, the local economy, may not. If the game becomes a totem while everything else fades, the town may lose more than you realize. Questions local stakeholders need to be asking are, how many kids are in the pipeline for the next 5 to 10 years for their school district? What happens when the boosters can't raise those funds? If the school district consolidates, will the field remain lit? How can they bring kids back after they leave and go to college? As demographics shift, can the school maintain other programs, band, theater, clubs that help anchor the community? The bright lights, the cheers, the 6 players on the field sprinting down an 80-yard field, that's vivid. But the bigger picture is this. When a town with fewer than 65 school kids still shows up on a Friday night, you see commitment, you see social trust, you see community resilience, but you also see questions that need to be answered because persistence alone isn't sustainability. And if a small town wants to hold on to more than just a game, they need to hold on to the institutions behind it. The school board, the local businesses, make sure that they're involved in these processes, the families that live there, and the shared rituals that make them up. So the next time you hear about six-man football, don't just see the touchdowns, see the town surrounding it. the people who live it, see the bleachers, see the trucks, see the trust in action, and ask, can we replicate this in other places where institutions are faltering. Because if we can, then maybe the lesson isn't small town sports. It's how we build local resilience and civic trust everywhere. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Texas Tomorrow. Please like, share, comment, let us know if there's something going on in your neighborhood that you'd like us to talk about.